suburbs, the woman who owns a Dalton home that she leased to Mayor Tiffany Henyard has filed eviction papers. She says Henyard has not paid her rent, and now she wants her out.
Mayor Tiffany Henyard has a new battle on her hands.
She is being evicted for not paying her rent, and now her landlord is talking about her past tenant troubles.
At some point, you would have to understand that karma's going to catch up to you.
It's a power grab. That's it.
Corrupt politicians are no rarity, but Tiffany Henyard has taken it to an unprecedented level. Once basking in an air of invincibility, Henyard's fall from grace has been nothing short of dramatic. Before being spectacularly evicted from her home, Henyard reveled in her perceived untouchability. Just a few months ago, she was living it up in Las Vegas while hardworking council members faced dismissals. But karma, as it often does, came knocking. A now viral video capturing her downfall has become a symbol of accountability, or the lack thereof. Dubbed the self-proclaimed super mayor, Henyard has certainly lived up to that title, at least in terms of her lifestyle. Since taking office, her image has undergone a noticeable transformation. Decked out in designer attire and supported by a $1 million police detail, Henyard's personal grooming costs alone have reached nearly $8,000 for hair and makeup. Her penchant for extravagance doesn't stop there. From first-class flights to luxury hotels and high-end dining, Henyard's spending habits paint a picture of indulgence. A single trip to Las Vegas saw her dropping $8,400 on hotels, $600 on a steakhouse meal, and an eye-watering $3,700 on her round-trip flight. This wasn't her personal wealth funding these luxuries, it was taxpayer money. While residents of Dalton, Illinois faced daily struggles, their mayor was living the high life, even spending over $1 million on campaign billboards to promote herself. Now the tide is turning. Amid ongoing investigations into her reckless misuse of village funds, Henyard's political career hangs in the balance. On top of that, she's facing personal challenges. Court documents reveal that Henyard and her boyfriend, Kamal Woods, have failed to pay rent since August after their landlord raised it. Currently $3,350 behind, the couple has reportedly refused property inspections, leading their landlord to file for eviction on September 18th. Her lavish residence, and perhaps in politics, may be numbered.
I'll have to pay a special process server in order to get them served, which is more fees for me.
It's not as though Tiffany Henyard and her boyfriend, Kamal Woods, lack access to money. It's just that their priorities seem clear. Luxury trips and excessive spending come first, while paying rent appears optional in their world. The mayor, who billed taxpayers nearly $8,000 for her glam squad, now finds herself in an increasingly unglamorous predicament. The trouble began this summer when Henyard's landlord, Hull, was forced to raise the rent by $200, bringing it to $2,400 per month. The increase stemmed from rising property taxes, leaving Hull no choice but to adjust the rent to make ends meet. However, instead of paying the difference, Woods reportedly claimed they couldn't afford it. By August, Henyard and Woods had stopped paying rent entirely. Hull confirmed the grim details. No payments for August, September, or October. To make matters worse, the couple allegedly changed the locks and garage door code, leaving Hull locked out of her own property. Hull now fears that attempting to regain access with a locksmith could result in Henyard having her arrested. With no other options, a frustrated and financially strapped Hull turned to the courts, filing an eviction lawsuit. Yet even this has been fraught with complications. Cook County sheriffs have made multiple attempts to serve Henyard and Woods with the eviction notice, both at their home and at Village Hall, but have been unsuccessful. Hull has had to hire a private process server to track them down, further adding to her financial strain. Hull, who has been unemployed for several months, now faces the risk of losing her house due to the couple's refusal to pay rent. With no communication from Henyard, who reportedly blocked her landlord months ago, Hull is left in an impossible situation. "This is beyond frustrating," Hull said, echoing the disbelief of many Dalton residents watching this fiasco unfold.
At some point, you would have to understand that karma's going to catch up to you.
At some point, karma catches up to everyone. Even if Tiffany Henyard and Kamal Woods managed to come up with the overdue rent, landlord Hull has made it clear she wants them out for good. With the couple on a month-to-month lease, Henyard's days in the home are numbered. This eviction battle is about more than just unpaid rent. It's a reflection of the broader controversies surrounding Henyard's leadership. From allegations of reckless spending of taxpayer dollars to obstructing transparency efforts and facing an ongoing FBI investigation, her tenure as mayor has become a spectacle of mismanagement. As the drama unfolds, Henyard's once bright spotlight is dimming, revealing a legacy plagued by scandal and unbridled disregard for accountability.
I don't think the money is worth it. The cash up front, it's not worth it. I would have rather rented to someone who, is an honest
Tiffany
person.
Henyard's eviction drama is just the tip of the iceberg. Beyond her personal housing woes, the embattled mayor is under growing scrutiny for her handling of Dalton's finances. Former Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot is spearheading an investigation that uncovered a staggering $3.65 million deficit in Dalton's general fund. Adding to her troubles, the FBI has launched a probe into her administration, with allegations ranging from wrongful termination lawsuits to indirect ties to a sexual assault case. Even her position as Thornton Township supervisor is under threat, as trustees demand transparency about her spending. Residents and local business owners have also begun speaking out. Lawrence Gardner, a trucking company owner, claims he was pressured to make $3,500 donations to Henyard's campaign in exchange for village licenses. When he stopped donating, his license was abruptly denied. Gardner and other residents have reportedly been interviewed by the FBI as part of its investigation into Dalton's administration. Meanwhile, Henyard's charity, Tiffany Henyard Cares, has come under fire from the Illinois Attorney General's office for failing to provide financial reports. A cease and desist letter has been issued, further tarnishing her already scandal-ridden tenure. As investigations intensify and controversies mount, Henyard's grip on power appears increasingly tenuous. Tiffany Henyard denies any wrongdoing amid the avalanche of controversies surrounding her. Her spokesperson insists there is no knowledge of an FBI investigation, subpoenas, or contact from law enforcement. Yet, with multiple lawsuits, a looming federal probe, and now an eviction notice, Henyard's title of super mayor seems increasingly ironic. A new title might better capture the precarious reality she's facing. Henyard's name has become synonymous with controversy, and many are left wondering just how much longer she can cling to her role as mayor of Dalton. With her political career hanging by a thread and her reputation in freefall, the question looms: how much longer can she continue to burden Dalton while chaos surrounds her? The drama reached a crescendo during the Democratic caucus to nominate leadership for Thornton Township, including the coveted supervisor position. For the first time in 30 years, a caucus replaced the usual primary election process, but Henyard didn't even make it onto the ballot. Candidates were required to submit a full slate of 8 individuals, including a supervisor, highway director, clerk, assessor, and 4 trustees. Henyard's slate collapsed when she failed to include a certified assessor, a basic requirement that instantly disqualified her. This latest stumble adds yet another layer to a series of missteps, leaving many to question whether her time in public office is nearing its end.
Y'all will get more interviews out of me. As long as y'all good for me, I'll be good for you. I have no issues. I just wanted people to say my side of the story and not just paint me as bad news, because it's not the truth. Y'all been witnesses.
What followed was nothing short of a political spectacle. State Senator Napoleon Harris, who also serves as the Thornton Township Democratic Committeeman, seized the opportunity to orchestrate the caucus that effectively ended Tiffany Henyard's bid for re-election as supervisor. The crowd voted overwhelmingly in Harris's favor, leaving Henyard completely sidelined. But if there's one thing about Tiffany Henyard, it's that she doesn't go down quietly. Dressed in a bold, hot pink outfit that matched her fiery defiance, she stormed the caucus venue, yelling at Harris and his team. The scene was a dramatic display of resistance, an attempt to hold on to her influence as her political standing continued to crumble before a stunned audience. "You didn't run none of this the right way," illegal Napoleon Henyard erupted in anger, accusing State Senator Napoleon Harris of orchestrating an unfair process. Her shouts filled the room as she challenged the legitimacy of the caucus that had ended her re-election bid. In response, Harris stood firm, stating that the use of a caucus is by no means outdated, defending the process as fair and within the bounds of tradition. The clash underscored the mounting tensions as Henyard's grip on power continued to weaken. People in Thornton Township may be new to caucuses because they haven't had them in a while, but this has been the tradition for many other townships around the state. In a last-ditch effort to prove her point, Tiffany Henyard brought in busloads of supporters, using Thornton Township resources to bolster her presence. But even this move backfired spectacularly. Many of the buses arrived late, and with the venue already at capacity, her supporters were left standing outside in the cold. Inside, the chaos continued. As State Senator Napoleon Harris officially claimed the nomination, the crowd erupted in applause and chants of support for him. Henyard stood visibly flustered, watching her influence slip away. The ultimate humiliation came as she exited the venue, with the crowd taunting her by singing, "Nana, hey, hey, kiss him goodbye." Henyard's reaction was explosive. She vowed to sue everyone involved, repeatedly calling the process illegal and accusing Harris of voter suppression. "I will be suing everyone tomorrow. This is illegal. Illegal," she declared.